Guys, they're really making a whites-only town in Missouri. Trump got these people acting so confident. Like, I'm cool with it. Don't make it a town, make it a city. And stay there, y'all. Like, stop coming around normal people.
Did Missouri just travel back to the 1950s? Well, this is Trump's America, so probably. According to new reports, a whites-only community could be coming to Missouri, with one already established in Arkansas. A man by the name of John Wesley Norton is trying to build what he calls a conservative, Christian, whites-only community outside of Springfield, Missouri. He says this community is for like-minded people. Let's be real, that means racists and segregation.
Apparently, some white folks in Missouri feel as though they need a whites-only territory. And I would just like to say, thank you. You mean to tell me whites are voluntarily separating themselves from us? I couldn't ask for a better blessing. I want to say, if these whites would like any support from me by way of social media, I will most certainly endorse. Now, outside of money and resources, I will give them whatever they need in terms of social backing. On behalf of all black folks, we would like to extend our gratitude, and we just want to know what took y'all so long.
I'm very interested to see what this whites-only town in Missouri will turn out to be when they don't have the leverage of Jim Crow and forcing black women to raise their kids for them this time. My money is on it turning out exactly like that libertarian town did that one time. Bunch of angry, unhealed white people who are likely heavily armed in a secluded location with not a lot of other oversight. I'm sure that won't that won't go poorly at all for everyone involved.
Listen, just saw a video about a guy doing an interview. He's the founder of a whites-only community in Missouri. I'm not gonna lie, I'm cool with it. I'm really cool with it, because here's my thing. We are constantly in a space where we're dealing with the Karens and, all these underlying racist undertones, all of that, right? Wouldn't it be great if there was a space where everyone who thinks like that lives, so we know how to avoid it and they know how to avoid us? Yeah.
It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities.
Yeah, we don't care, dog. Like, there's a lot of white audacity. Like, you guys are sitting around making up these narratives that we care about whites only towns. Mind you, one of these towns are in the mountain. Black people not going up there. We are not going up there. As a matter of fact, thank you for telling us where it's going to be, because that's where we will not be. Okay, we can duck and dodge that town. We won't even stop in that town for gas.
I really don't think anyone should be surprised by the fact that a whites-only community is popping up in Missouri. Racist white people are going to do racist shit, okay? Especially in the current political climate. We saw this last time when Trump was president. The racists felt emboldened. They kept doing more racial bullshit. That being said, we know how it's going to end, all right? This is the same as every other cult that has popped up, because I do genuinely believe that racism runs so deep in people's minds, it indoctrinates them, especially in white communities, because white parents pass down white supremacy onto their kids because they just never learned white patriarchal society.
Gag is, y'all little whites only town is not gonna work, because who gonna be the niggas? And so you're gonna have an all white town. Who is going to be your dullets? Who's gonna be your castaways? Who's gonna be the unclean? Who's gonna be your labor force? Who's going to be the people you want to do all the work you don't want to do? We're listening. You don't want the blacks. You don't want the gays. You don't want the Jewish. You don't want the disabled. You only want white people. You're going to find a version of a white person that you're going to learn to hate. And I cannot wait to watch that documentary.
One of the crazy things about this whole whites only community they're building in Missouri is that there's already white-only communities by default. All the people of color are only in two spots, Kansas City and St. Louis. I guess you can also add in some college towns, but outside of that, it's white. You didn't have to make a new spot. It was already there. That just shows how paranoid they are. They probably grew up in one of these whites only communities and they still were thinking about black people and like, hey, we don't want them around here. And they never even seen one in person. They didn't even know any black people in real life. So what are they really, why are they worried about people of color that they have to make a whole new community? It doesn't make sense.
All right, y'all. Now that the whites is finally about to go away to a white-only town in Missouri, can we start coming together and making plans about rebuilding and stuff? Like, let's just get this back on track. They have been derailing our progress as a people, as a community, as a country for too long. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of throwing rocks and hiding the hands. I'm tired of entitlement. I'm tired of being painted to be a monster when we, the minorities, are literally... Don't get me started, okay? All I'm saying is just like, are y'all ready to take this shit back? We got everything to take.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joe Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. So apparently, in the year 2025, some folks in Missouri have decided to take it all the way back to 1950 and start a whites-only town. You heard that right. A town specifically designed only for white residents. And you know what's wild? The internet is actually united for once. Both black and white people are saying the same thing. And... please go. In fact, go faster. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let's watch a few more clips and I'll be back with more commentary.
The white-only towns that they're trying to create in Missouri and Arkansas do not surprise me for the fact of the matter that sundown towns do very much so exist. And they're very much so prevalent and exist all over the United States. It is not just in the South like a lot of y'all assume and think. I live in the Midwest, Indiana to be exact, and KKK is very much so alive and well here. Furthermore, legally, these are not towns. These hoes fully just went off and bought like 150, 200 acres worth of land and are building homes and shit on it, and they're calling it a town. And this shit is not gonna last. Not for very long at least, okay? I'm talking about this shit ain't gonna last no longer than like 5 years, 10 years tops. I'll have a little bit of grace to see how long they last in that shit. But with the rules that they're already saying that they're gonna have in that bitch, being that the women need to stay at home at all times and men are the only ones working and providing for themselves in the community. They haven't even mentioned having schools in this hoe. Like, what about that? Where are your kids gonna go to school? I'm guessing they're gonna homeschool them. The only difference is that they're not worshiping or praising anything. It is one rock skip away from a cult. Okay.
So the people of Missouri is trying to build a whites-only town, and all I keep thinking of is Gilead. Is that you? Handmaid's Tales? Is that you? We were wondering why there was not a lot of black people, unless there was the mixed race girl in the show. This is why that Missouri whites-only town is the beginning stages of Gilead, the Handmaid's Tales. You've been warned. Also, we don't care. Are y'all gonna live stream it? Is it gonna be behind a paywall? I'm trying to see what's gonna happen.
Like one person said online, and I'm gonna quote, "I'm so happy for them. They said they were gonna do it, and they did. I really hope they all move there and never leave. Trust me, they're doing us a big favor." End quote. Honestly, facts. Because let's be real, if your dream life requires separating yourself from other races just to feel safe or superior, that's not confidence. That's white supremacy wrapped up in insecurity. And it's not even a new idea. They already tried this in Ozark, Arkansas. Remember? They tried to build their own utopia for like-minded people. Translation, a gated community for people who still think segregation was a good idea. Guess what? It's failing. They built it, hyped it, filled it with Confederate dreams, and now they can't sustain it. They're struggling to get residents, struggling to build infrastructure, struggling to get basic funding. Turns out, white supremacy is not an economic strategy. If your entire business model is no black people allowed, don't be surprised when capitalism doesn't check your skin tone before sending you a bill. And here's what's even more interesting. White people are calling it out too. One white commentator said, "I'm white and I don't even want to live in a white-only town." Another said, "Imagine limiting your whole life to one race. That sounds boring." Because at the end of the day, most people, black or white, have evolved past this nonsense. They understand that diversity is normal. Having neighbors of different backgrounds isn't a threat. It's just life. But here's where it gets extra hypocritical. A lot of these towns are being founded by people who claim to be Christian. They love to post Bible verses while building communities that literally go against every value Jesus taught. Let's pull out the receipts. Revelation 7:9 says, "A great multitude from every nation, tribe, people, and language standing before the throne. Galatians 3:28 says, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, for you are all one in Christ." So somebody explain to me, how does whites only fit into that? It doesn't, because this is not Christianity. This is white supremacy with a church logo slapped on it. And if your idea of heaven is segregated, you're not worshiping God. You're worshiping whiteness. It's funny how these communities always say, we're not racist, we just want to be around like-minded people. Yeah, okay, but why is like-minded always called for white only? Why can't it mean kind-hearted, respectful, hardworking? Why does melanin determine your compatibility? Because deep down, this isn't about culture or safety. It's about preserving a system where whiteness stays at the top, even if that system has to be rebuilt in a tiny farm town with 3 houses and a Dollar General.
Have y'all heard about the whites only community coming to the United States that they're creating in Missouri as we speak? You know what? I'm not even upset about it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because y'all played. Y'all said y'all wanted things segregated. And some people took it literally. They are creating segregated white European only neighborhoods in Missouri, and they're expecting to expand throughout the United States, saying that they want to keep these neighborhoods together with like-minded people. So this is actually a thing going on. Segregated neighborhoods are already being built in Missouri.
But here's the truth that white supremacy can't escape. You can't build a future based on fear. You cannot thrive by running from the world. And you definitely cannot sustain a community built on exclusion. Who's gonna fix your roads? Who's gonna staff your hospitals? Who's gonna run your schools? Who's gonna do your skilled labor when your entire rulebook says whites only? Because white supremacy wants isolation, but America runs on collaboration. Every building, every invention, every highway, every breakthrough was built by a mix of people. And that's why most people, black and white, are laughing at the segregated fantasy towns. Not because they're mad, not because they're threatened, but because they're past it. People in 2025 are tired. They want peace, not purity. They want community, not supremacy. So if Missouri wants to build a whites-only town, go ahead. Build it. Just don't expect applause. Don't pretend it's about freedom when it's about fear. Don't claim it's about Christianity when it's about control. And don't act surprised when, just like Ozark, it collapses under its own delusion. Because the world didn't stop you. The world just stopped caring.
Y'all making whole dissertations about the white only town, baby. I'm over here happy as You don't like black people and you want to make a town to where you never got to see us? That is a win.
So what do you all think? Would you move to such a town? Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video specifically tailored for you. And if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, the Joy Report out.